Under the serene glow of a full moon, a tranquil night in the town was shattered by a blood-curdling scream. An innkeeper rushed towards the sound, bursting into a room to find a man collapsed on the floor. She cried out, "What happened?" The man on the floor, his face pale with sweat, weakly uttered, "Healer." His leg was grotesquely swollen, with angry red veins pulsing with a dark energy. The pain was unbearable. Overcome with agony, he screamed, "Call a healer!" A few hours earlier, that same man had been stumbling down a stone path, wounded and exhausted. He collapsed to his knees but pushed himself back up, thinking, "It's a town. I'll survive." This was Russ Taker, an adventurer. The memory of his recent battle was still fresh in his mind. He thought back with a grimace. Black mane wolves, those fucking savages. I knew they traveled in small groups, but it wasn't just 2 or 3. There were 30 of them. A sharp throb from his injuries brought him back to reality. They're already strong individually, so how the hell was I supposed to beat a pack of them? He clutched his wounds, panting heavily. I need to see a healer, but first, let's go borrow some money from the Adventurers Union. Inside the Grand Adventurers Union building, Russ presented his request. "I am confirming the payment." A woman at the counter looked over his documents and said sternly, "The amount lent will be deducted from the next commission fee settlement. You know there is an extra fee, right?" She glanced at his wounds with a hint of concern. "And your injury seems serious. It seems like you need a healer soon." Russ nodded impatiently. Yes, he thought to himself, as if I don't know that already. As he stepped outside, a wave of dizziness hit him. I feel dizzy. I might die before I even get to the church. Suddenly, a calm voice spoke from behind him. "Excuse me, are you searching for a healer?" Russ turned to see a man with dark hair and a pristine white coat, smiling gently. "In that case, you don't need to go far." Russ stared, bewildered. "What the? Who is this guy?" The man leaned in with a conspiratorial whisper. "I'll give you a discount. You can pay me after I treat you." Instantly suspicious, Russ pulled back and demanded, "Show me your healer badge first." Since healers earned a lot of money, there were many phonies. That's why the Adventurers Union created the Healer's Badge, a special skill commission to verify true healers. Russ thought, punks who don't know what a real badge is usually bring any badge they have. He pressed the man. "What's the hold up? Show me your badge." The man in the white coat simply smiled and replied, "They said that I cannot heal properly, so they didn't give me one." Russ's suspicion turned to certainty. "He's a fake." He began to walk away. He scoffed over his shoulder. "Aha! A healer who doesn't know how to heal. I guess I've lived long enough to meet idiots like you." As Russ walked away, the man's voice stopped him in his tracks. "An injury on your sturdy toenail. The thing that attacked you must have been quite strong to rip it off in one go." The man continued his analysis. "Seeing that your wound is still fresh, the attack must have been recent and nearby. Your right shoulder, your assailant was a black mane wolf, right?" Russ froze, his eyes wide with shock. He turned back to face the man. The man pointed to Russ's leg. "That ankle scratch from the branch looks like it took a hard hit." Russ thought, how did he know that just by looking? The mysterious man continued smoothly, "Even though I may look knowledgeable, I still make ends meet by healing others. If you go to the church, you'll spend what? Like 600,000 gold? An adventurer healer will take about 300,000. Russ asked cautiously, "What are you implying?" The man held up one finger. "I will only charge you a mere 150,000 gold." Russ's suspicion returned. As I suspected, he's just a scammer trying to take advantage of my desperation. He turned to leave once more. The man called out after him one last time. "If it hurts when you sleep, come find me. I am staying over at the inn." Shaking his head, Russ made his way to the church. There, a priest bathed his wounds in a brilliant, holy light. The priest declared, "By the power of light, the wounds are being healed. The fee will be 620,000 gold." Russ paid the hefty price, thinking that while expensive, the church's healing was definitely effective. He returned to his inn room, relieved. But as he rested, he noticed his leg still felt strangely uncomfortable. That night, his discomfort turned into searing agony. He screamed in pain as he looked down at his leg, now covered in glowing, pulsating red lines. "What is happening?" The innkeeper burst into the room. Russ, writhing on the floor, gasped, "A healer! Call a healer quickly! Ah, the man from earlier. Just find him!" He thrashed in pain, suddenly regretting his earlier decision. Damn it! I should have asked for his name. He remembered the man's prophetic words, "If it hurts when you sleep, come find me." The priest's healing was a scam. The man from earlier was the real deal. Suddenly, a familiar voice cut through his pained haze. "Half-dead people sure know how to call for someone. I told you it would hurt a lot." The man in the white coat stood in the doorway, having just arrived. He announced himself with a smirk. "The healer who can't heal has come." They met again in the dimly lit room. The healer gestured for the innkeeper to leave them. He knelt beside Russ, saying, "The priests have a knack for giving treatment that only looks good. Can't you see the wound hasn't improved at all?" Russ gritted his teeth. "So, you are a healer, right?" The healer smiled. "I am, but I feel like the situation is a lot more serious than before. I think I'll have to adjust my treatment fee." He held up 3 fingers. 300,000 gold. Please pay in advance." Russ cried out in disbelief. 300,000 gold? You said it would be 150,000. The healer countered calmly, "But that price was for before you were on the verge of death. My price is based on the difficulty of the treatment." Desperate, Russ struggled to sit up. My sword is worth at least 200,000. I can give you that for now." The healer considered it. "A 200,000 gold deposit? Very well, I accept." He reached out, and with a flash of blue light, Russ's sword vanished from its sheath and into his possession. Russ stared in awe, then nodded in gratitude. Thank you." The healer then turned his attention to the leg. "Well then, let's take a look. Is this a new disease?" As he touched the wound, Russ screamed in pain. After a brief examination, the healer sat back. "I see the problem. Among those injuries, one is poison." Russ looked confused. "Pea poison?" The healer explained like this: "A dark cowberry. Its leaves are harmless, but the thorn contains a potent neurotoxin. Just a little scratch can cause paralysis." He continued, "That is why black maned wolves wander around this area. They lure their prey towards the thorns, wait for them to be paralyzed, and then finish them off." The horrifying realization dawned on Russ. "Then my leg is... No! Does that mean I will never recover?" The healer held up a hand. "Teacher? Oh, please. There is a way, of course." He produced a vial containing a shimmering purple liquid. "Dark cowberry antidote. This shouldn't be consumed. It must be applied directly to the wound. Normally, I would recommend a low-level healing potion as well." His expression darkened. "But someone mean left the poison as is, so it seems like that our competitor is quite skilled." Russ understood. The priest knew about the poison and did nothing. The healer looked at him grimly. "And I mentioned I can't be using my healing power." He drew a sharp, gleaming knife. "Not that, I don't want to. I don't have any painkillers. So if you want to scream, then hold back." As the knife descended, Russ panicked. "Wait, let me prepare my mind." But it was too late. The healer plunged the knife into the infected wound, and Russ's world exploded into pain. he screamed as the healer poured the antidote into the fresh cut. As the potion sizzled, the healer, Kang Sung-hyun, thought to himself, "If you are a healer, you should use healing power to heal the wound. But is there really a need to follow common sense if I can't use healing power?"